Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the main event of the evening.
Let's get ready to rumble! Get ready to rumble!
Good evening, all you lovely folks out there. This is the Toon Review YouTube channel, and it is match preview and press conference reaction show with myself and that one there. How are you doing, Jade?
Well, good, thank you. Hope everyone's all right.
Yeah. Have you calmed down now since your match reaction anger?
Yeah, I was being harsh, wasn't I, apparently, but yeah.
No, don't worry. No, I think you had every right, and it's good that you're taking over the ranting from me.
Well, exactly. So, I'm wanted more from the lads.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a few comments coming in already. Paul J says, evening, Paul, hope you're well. Chippers, see, Bruce was bigging up Sheffield United again today. How can you say a side are decent with 6 wins from 36 and rock bottom? Yeah, we'll come on to that. Ryan says, evening, Paul, I'm at Stamford Bridge with a few friends, heard the Premier League today, asked for more time and requested to look at what our Newcastle holding over their heads. It's not right. They are defo scared. Yep, there's a lot going on with the takeover now. It's starting to ramp up again. And I have a feeling it might just be in our favour. Good evening, Trolls. Hope you're well, buddy. ABL is trying the same they did last summer and delay. Yep, that's exactly what they're doing. Delay tactics because
not going to work this time.
No, and they're absolutely petrified.
Oh, yeah.
Judy, good evening. Fog on the Tyne is all mine, all mine. Yep, Judy, it'll be a bit different for you today. Would have been Tuesday. Chipper says, see, Ryan Fraser's back. One thing I will say is Fraser even injured. Could Bruce be denying him the chance to play at the Euros so no one bids for him in the summer should we do well? I want him gone, but we'll come on to Ryan Fraser. Chipper's saying hello to his future wife. Did Ann Summers let you out early? It's not Monday. It's not Monday, guys. I think that there's basically a love triangle going on in the comments at the minute.
And
yeah, hey Jade, hope you're good, says Trolls. Hi Jade, hi Paul, hi Judy. Evening, Paul and Jade, says Ryan. Chippers, monumental bell end. Yeah, well, I'm sure I'll be using that a bit tonight. Judy, is the takeover happening, or is it another excuse not to spend in the summer? Been happening year after year after year. Look, as far as I'm concerned, I don't want anything to be broadcast about the takeover until it's done. I'd rather know nothing until the announcement is made, and then bam, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. We've been taken over, so we'll wait and see. But we'll start with the press conference, Jade. I don't know whether you've seen anything from it today.
Have. Yeah, I saw bits of it.
Again, this isn't in any particular order, so I just put the screenshots up as I get them. So, first one was Steve Bruce on fans returning to St James's Park. We'll start feeling it when we arrive and we see some spectators there. It's been absolutely weird playing in front of nobody. It's a step towards being normal again. It's shown us, if we need reminding, how important fans are. Is he shitting himself?
Oh, he's got to be, hasn't he? I know obviously we'll probably go on to it later, but he was like, I don't really care what reception I get. I'm like, of course you do. You're absolutely bricking it. Yeah. And I feel like obviously you said you had like a feeling with it with the cup final. I was like, yeah, but those fans had nothing to say against you. So yeah, you'll probably be looking forward to it after watching the cup final and seeing the hype. And it is lovely to see fans in there, but he's got to be kind of shitting himself to what he's going to come into.
Yeah, it was a very, very bizarre comment to make, to be honest.
But that's Steve Bruce, isn't it?
Yeah, he then went and said, I think we'll start feeling it when you arrive tomorrow. We had a flavour of it with the cup final and the playoffs, and all of a sudden it's a wonderful spectacle. Well, it is, Steve, until they start really just telling everybody what to think of you. I just hope that the Sky cameras don't cut out the crowd noise, like they'll put an overlay on to deny the noise that's going against Bruce, Jade.
Yeah, that was kind of one of my concerns, to be honest. But I feel like I was watching the Man United game just there, and I preferred the crowd noise to that shite. Like there was not, it was like you could hear like a pin drop in the stadium, and I just don't want that.
It was shocking. Halfway through that second half, it was shocking.
Literally.
I mean, it was so quiet. It was terrible.
I know obviously St James's Park isn't the kind of fortress it used to be back in like the 90s when you literally couldn't hear yourself think because of the noise. But I know for a fine fact that the 10,000 geordies in there won't let Bruce get away with what he's done to our club. And I'm sure we'll make our feelings against Ashley known as well, even though we're technically on the same side at the moment trying to get this through.
Well, that's true, yeah.
But no, I hope they give him hell. And even you can get behind the lads, just get behind the lads. Obviously, it might be a bit toxic for Bruce, but still get behind the lads because
I don't give a shit if it is. I don't give a monkey's chuff if it's toxic for Bruce. I just want him out of there. Stephen says, "Good evening, Paul and Jade. Hope you're well, buddy." Annie with monumental. Is that starting a hashtag now? I mean, there's loads of people hashtagging me now with monumental bell end. It seems to be. Me Fraser's catching on a little bit.
Tune review catchphrase.
Yes, exactly. Trull says, does Bruce have to play National League to say we are better than the opponent?
Probably.
You know what? I don't think anything's going to change with Steve Bruce. You know, he's made his mind up about making these ridiculous comments about the opposition. You know, always been better than us or a very good side. I mean, Sheffield United aren't a good side. They've won 6 games all season. They're relegated, and you know they are a bad side. Now we made them look good at Bramall Lane. Whether that happens again tomorrow night will be very interesting. Exactly. Keith, good evening, Paul and Jade. Thank you. Hey, Annie. Annie was missing last night from the Four Horsemen show. I don't know where he was, but
probably a good job.
Well, yes. Hang on a minute. We've skipped a couple there. Judy says, I think this match will be crucial. Nothing to play for, but if Brucey loses twice to Sheffield, it has to demonstrate how pathetic he is. It's a big game because I expect Newcastle to come out with a bit of a different, I don't know, like a different sort of morale or different kind of motivation for tomorrow because they know how badly they played at Sheffield down at Bramall Lane. They know how terrible it was for the supporters to watch. And I think tomorrow they've got to come out with a bit more impetus, a bit more attacking mentality, Jade, surely.
Hopefully they feel like they've got something to prove against obviously what happened last time when we were at Bramall Lane. Like that was just like, it was a joke when Fraser got sent off and he was smiling and laughing about it. Like they've got to come out and kind of, they've played well against City, Leicester. They've got to come out and think, right, we can beat these. But my one kind of big thing about Bruce is that he always gives the opposition too much respect. I mean, we're all there for every time. It's like, it's good to have respect for your opponents and still put out your best team. But he gives them too much respect on the field and in his press conferences. He kind of just says like, oh, you know, they're a good team. Obviously, you've got to say that. But then he'll come with his tactics and his formation tomorrow thinking we're playing the Man City again, and it's just get at them. Like, I know we've got nothing to play for, they've got nothing to play for because they're down, but give your fans a good spectacle that you deserve it after the shite we've had to watch this season.
It'll be interesting to see how Sheffield United play, given that they've got nothing to play for and the pressure's off. Normally what you find is relegated clubs then just suddenly turn it around. I mean, look at us when we got relegated when we thrashed Tottenham 5-1, you know, with 10 men as well. Just a bizarre
Those are the days.
Oh, God, the flavour, laughing my arse off. Bruce and his choice of wording is laughable. Can I have some stats on Steve Bruce? Well, the stats on Steve Bruce are there on the internet. If you want to go and check out his Premier League stats, go and look at them. They're absolutely horseshit.
I can tell you where he is, right at the very bottom.
He is, exactly. He's right at the bottom of the stats. Good evening, Andrew. Hi, mate. Okay. Interesting. Joke that you want to give your manager hell is shocking. Listen, he's going to get hell. He deserves hell. He's been getting away with it all season, talking about us, the fans, like shit. And now it comes to the crunch where he's got to face us now or face 10,000 of them. And it'll be very interesting to see if they make the voices heard. I think they will, probably before the game, half time. Certainly if we start losing the game, it'll turn toxic very quickly. So it's going to be very interesting. I don't know if Steve Bruce will be able to handle it, to be honest. I really don't. Luke says, good evening, Paul and Jade. Judy says, beg to differ. We are what, 17th? Yes, or she's talking about your favourite person, the Steve Bruce fan. Well, I'm
interested to know, like, if Mike Sacked or whatever he's called is a Newcastle fan, because it seems like you don't really want very much from your club and you don't want your club to do well.
Yeah.
And that worries me, because if you are, you're probably one of the few. Like, it's okay to have your opinion on Bruce and you think he's doing a good job, that's fine. But it's worrying that you think that he's done a good job getting Newcastle United 17th in the league. That's what's worrying me. So if you are a Newcastle United fan, I would pretty much hang me head in shame if that's what you expect from the club.
Yeah, without a doubt. Annie says, I had a cricket match and watched Swansea Barnsley as well, so missed the Four Horsemen. That's just not good enough for Annie.
Priorities.
Chip is once again declaring his love for Judy. Where will be fans tomorrow, so they will hear if they don't try? I don't know where they're sitting yet.
Level 7, aren't they? It's level 7 in Leasers, I think. Yeah, they're at the top. They're up the top with the Leasers and the Leasers side as well, I believe.
That's mental.
Obviously.
That's absolutely mental.
Further away from Bruce as you can find.
Yeah, which we all knew was going to happen. Musical Magpie said, should Andy Carroll start tomorrow? For sentimental reasons, I'd probably like to see him start, if I'm honest. Do I think he'll start? No. I know there's been a bit of trouble in the background with Mr. Carroll acting up again. So I don't know. For sentimental reasons, probably yes. What do you think, Jayde?
Yeah, I'd love to see him in the black and white shirt one more time if it is true that he's not getting his contract renewed and he's getting let go. It would be great to see him, just obviously, like you say, for certain amount of reasons, but honestly don't think Bruce will change the squad at all, unfortunately. But it would be nice. I hope he gets a bit of time, not the last couple of minutes of the game. I hope he does get a good run in it. He
doesn't seem to me like to be the sentimental type, does Mr. Bruce?
No. Well, he has to pay him. Don't they have to pay him if he plays? So what's the point?
Exactly. Andrew says, canny chores. The weather's been quite nice today in the northeast. It has been very warm, yes. Anthony says, spot on, Jayde. Too much respect given to the opposition. What message does it send to our players? I mean, even like my sporting background was, obviously, as people know, was ice hockey. So if my coach came into the dressing room and was talking about the opposition like Steve Bruce does, he'd get pelters from the players because you're thinking, what kind of morale or what kind of motivation is that, saying how well the opposition is? Our coaches always went out and said, look, we're going to do the damage today. We're going to go out and we're going to perform. We're going to do this, that. He never talks about what Newcastle are going to do. It's always about the opposition.
Yeah, like obviously I played football when I was younger as well, and we would be playing like the best team in the league, and they're like, well, go and give them a go, you've got nothing to lose, go and show them what you're made of, make yourself proud. Obviously it came up with like, well, obviously show them respect and played the best team, but he's never saying like, you'd be like, right, yeah, for example, you have to say Sheffield United are it's a good side, it's just typical like you say that, but he goes, then I would go on to say, but we've got enough to hopefully get a result, not just like, they're a good side, we'll see what we can do, we can hope for the best, everyone's okay, so we'll just hope and see what happens. Like that is all he says, he hits and hopes.
Steve's answered some stats on Bruce: 100% fool, 0% manager. I'd agree with that.
Great stats.
Should Bruce give Wilson the number 9 shirt for next season? Absolutely. If Wilson isn't number 9 next season, he cannot keep Joe Linton as number 9.
He's not a striker. He's just not a striker. That man is our striker.
I know, Wilson. But it's what the shirt means, Jayde, as well. It's the heritage of that number 9 shirt, the history it's got with Newcastle United, and it shouldn't belong to a player like Joe Linton.
No.
Andrew says, when are Judy and Chip is getting married, do I need a new hat like Cilla Black? Well, I don't think Cilla Black will have a good look at the minute, to be honest. Mike Sackler's back saying, I just believe in Steve Bruce. Well, you're probably the only man on the planet that does. Wahey, Bolton Wanderers FC are in League One. Hopefully give Sunderland a good kick in next season. Yes, congratulations to Bolton, because they've had a horrendous time of it of late.
Good club as well.
Yeah, they are. It's one of those family clubs, isn't it? So you always want to see them kind of clubs do well. And Burnley have been through the fucking mire in the last few years, all the way down to the lower league, and then they've bounced back up though. So hopefully they'll onwards and upwards for them. Which hopefully they will be playing Sunderland next season, who of course played tomorrow night, which we will probably touch on in our match reaction show tomorrow. And he says, breaking news, Henry Lansbury signed by Real Madrid on a 5-year deal. A great signing for Madrid and Zidane, who has posters of Lansbury in his bedroom. Annie, I think you've got a bit of an infatuation with Mr. Lansbury. You mention him nearly every day of the week, and it's a bit concerning. Gary says, get behind Bruce and the team. He's done an okay job. You're making fans toxic.
Oh, we are. Okay.
I don't think
that's
it's
a lot
us,
of pressure,
Gary.
How many people watch us? 52,000 people don't.
Well, They might do in the future.
They better.
Well, that's if we stop being so toxic, Jayde.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry for pushing my
That's your
toxicity.
opinion, Gary, and you're perfectly welcome to it.
Fine, yeah.
But I think me and Jayde and thousands of other Newcastle United fans do not think he's done an okay job. With the squad that man has had this season, there is no way, and don't come to me with COVID or anything crap like that. He has had a good enough squad to get us higher up the table, without a shadow of a doubt. We should not have been worried about relegation. But
that's
like
Newcastle now, isn't it? Like he did an okay job. Like, when was it okay to do okay at Newcastle United? Newcastle United aren't relegation battle material. I'm not expecting Champions League. I'm not expecting to win every game, but top 10 at least. And that's not a lot to ask for a club of our stature. Yeah. And I'm sick of this as doing okay. Like, I don't want to do okay. I just want to do well.
Yeah,
and that's not
is
a lot
that
to
where
ask.
we are as Newcastle United?
Literally, that
now,
is how
we
far
have to accept this. I'm sorry, but
apparently so.
I'm not accepting this kind of crap. You know, this is my club. This is our club. Yeah. And I don't want to see us playing this season out, season in. It's rubbish, man. But
you can barely call it football what he plays this season as well.
Football.
Like,
it's just it's punt and run. That's all it
literally.
is.
But that's just your opinion. But that's mine on it.
Chipper says at my sacked, I believe you were full of shit. So obviously he doesn't agree with him. Good evening, Dave. Hi, Paul. Hi, Jayde, and everyone. Andrew says, Annie, are you dreaming, lad? He is. He's a bit, you know. There's toxic air in Bristol at the minute, and it's having an effect on him.
It's from us pushing it down.
Jules wants to know if it will be a shot-good wedding between Judy and Chippers. God knows. Keith said, love the Four Horsemen. Thank you very much. I would just like to say that, you know, I don't know who saw the Four Horsemen yesterday, but at the start of the show, I made a comment about one of our trolls called Barry. And when I got out of bed this morning, I went on to check my YouTube stats and everything. There was 11 messages from him, 11 comments, all saying how he was going to get the channel shut down. He'd sent loads of videos to YouTube, etc., etc. So far, I've yet to have anything back from YouTube. So, you know, interesting, Barry.
He's got a hobby.
Yeah, he does. And I've blocked him now anyway. So
thanks for the memories, Barry.
For some reason, he said that I was Steve Wraith's biggest troll. I don't know where he's actually got that from, because me and Steve are on good terms, so I don't see any problem there. But I don't know who he was. He was just a prune anyway.
Markham.
So, well, probably, yeah. Jules says hi again, Dave. Andrew says, evening, Dave. What's the crack? Annie says, Andrew, I've just woken up seeing he's just signed for Dagenham and Redbridge. That's Lonsbury. Well, he's taken a tumble. Judy says, thing is, Mate, again, talking about Mate Sack, the Steve Bruce fan. I wanted to believe in Steve Bruce. I wanted to be proven wrong for having my doubts and cynicism, but he's uninspired, old hat, allegedly a bully, unwilling to accept the blame. Yeah, well, he did actually accept the blame today for the Sheffield United debacle, but I don't know why he couldn't have done that after the match. Let's have another look at another quote from the press conference. Well, all I've said, we've all said it. If we ever need reminding what we play football for and what we're in it for, it's the supporters. I'm sure people will go to the pub before and after and discuss all the things that make this great game what it is. Jayde, that's totally not what he said last Monday on TalkSport.
No, he's backtracking now, isn't he, knowing that the supporters are going to be kind of not face-to-face, but in the same stadium as him now. It's clear enough for the supporters because you think we're trash, basically. You've kind of all but said it. And if it was for the supporters, you wouldn't have been Newcastle United manager after the first half of the season. So I don't think he believes it's for the supporters. He's in it for himself. And I'm sure he's probably not looking forward to going back in that stadium, but I don't want him just to hear 10,000 voices. I want next season, if he unfortunately is in the stands, 52,000 geordies screaming at him until we finally do. You know, I don't agree with kind of putting pressure on people, but that's the only way things get done in this game now.
Listen, that comes with the job, Jayde. You know, football manager comes with pressure, whether you like it or not. You know,
and at the end of the day, like he's got away with bloody murder this season with not having fans in there, and with his mates, with the pundit kind of having his back. And I just feel like 52,000 geordies each and every week, and especially the away fans as well. Hopefully, will push him out because he's underqualified for this job completely,
without a doubt. On the recent goal scoring form, he says, we got beaten in our last game, but I've been delighted with us over the last few weeks. It's about getting the balance right. We still concede too many. I've enjoyed watching us, and we've done well of late. It's important we keep the standard high. I I can see where he's getting that with the standard high. You know, we've got some good results of late, but I mean, am I the only one that's thinking the football still isn't like, it's still not great?
But I think because the standard was so low, anything slightly better looks like a great achievement, because I think like when we're attacking and we're closing down and we have played some good football, but it hasn't been anywhere to the quality that I'd expect it to be still, especially with the players that you've got on the pitch. But I feel like we've just been subjected to some horrendous football this season. Any
without a doubt.
Any kind of
no
slight
doubt.
improvement is kind of a positive for us, and that's what we've taken. Like, he's grasped on that tiny little straw and he's taken it to the bank and said, like, we've played well, like we scored goals, and that's all we can ask for in a football game. But the quality of the football and the defending definitely need to improve over the summer.
Without a doubt. Paul says Harry Kane is signing for Newcastle United, and then the alarm clock woke me up. Oh, well, it was a good while it lasted.
That thing on Twitter says Kane to Newcastle, who says no, everyone was like, Harry Kane.
Yeah, I know. Mental, wasn't it? Peter, good evening. I think Steve Bruce will keep the side the same. Fans will get behind the side, but Bruce will get the slack. Also, that Barry is blocked on my list, and how the hell do I look like Anne Hegarty?
It was a Neville Longbottom one for me that did.
The what, sorry?
The Neville Longbottom under the Wizard from Harry Potter. God. When he was younger.
I mean, some of the lookalikes that were coming through on last night's show were absolutely tremendous. If somebody can do Peter's face superimposed on Anne Hegarty, then I will just lose the plot, mate. Like,
it's a challenge.
Yeah, it is. Judy says he's been slack with training. He's turned average players into awful ones. He was hired solely as a placeholder through to stop us getting relegated, and mission accomplished. We survived. It's a good point, Jayde. Judy's making there. I mean, he's done what he's been asked to do, but in an absolutely terrible way. And it's like we just said, is that where we are now as a club, where every season now we're going to be favourites for relegation, or certainly up there with the favourites?
I think so now, unfortunately. I think that without a takeover, this is what our club's become, unfortunately. Like Judy said, he's done his job, now move on. And kind of, what if Newcastle will seem to always be going backwards? Yeah. Well, once he survive relegation, but then we're back in that dogfight next season, and I want to move forward. The likes of look at Leeds, man, like how sickening, like I'm so happy for them because they're a great club, but how sickening is that? Someone that's kind of good manager, I wouldn't say they're outstanding players, I think they're decent players, but because the manager's got his head screwed on and he's played them in the correctly, look at where they are now, top 10 finish, first time back in the Premier League. That's what we should be aiming for. Like, we're getting outshone the likes of Crystal Palace, Leeds. Like, it's embarrassing to be a Newcastle supporter, like, just to kind of dwiddle in the relegation area.
These teams have just taken over us, haven't they?
Literally.
Chipper says to Peter, good evening, Barry from EastEnders. Some classic ones. Mike Sex says, Callum Wilson has more goals this season than he had last season for Bournemouth. Bruce has improved him a lot. No, I'm not having that.
Wilson's just a class player.
The last season injured is why he didn't score many goals. You cannot
do me tits in him.
I mean, come on. You're just saying things now to try and wind people up, because he hasn't.
Keep it coming.
He hardly played last season, so you can't come out with a stat as crap as that one. Musical Magpie said, "What can Bruce do against Sheffield United to get the fans back on side?"
Nothing for me.
I think he's lost them, Jayde. I think the fans, he's lost the fans a long time ago, and it's irreparable for me.
Yeah, do you know what the funny thing is, though? Like, I know we'll get a lot of stick for giving stick to Steve Bruce, but I can honestly tell everyone watching, and especially Mike sacked, no one wanted Steve Bruce to fail. Obviously, when you come into this, he wasn't probably going to be up to task, but no one watched him come in and go, fail, get us in the relegation zone. No one wanted that. We all wanted him to kind of take off, kind of hit the ground with 2 feet running and do well with this club. No one wanted us to be in the position we are, and the only reason we are is for two men, and that's Steve Bruce and Mike Ashley. So don't come at me saying, like, we're giving him so much stick and we wanted him to fail. I didn't want him to fail, and I don't know any Newcastle fan who has a new manager come in wanting them to fail, because that's just not who we are. We want to do the best we can.
Charles makes a good point there. To get us back on side, he can leave.
The damage is done now. Do you know what I mean? It's done. He said too much.
Exactly. Stephen says, hi, guys. Sheffield United supporter here. We played like we did last season. Don't know where that performance came from. If we play like we did last game, you will struggle, in my opinion. Good luck anyway, guys. Listen, I mean, like we said before, Stephen, the pressure's completely off Sheffield United now. They can go into the game, completely relax, play some football. hopefully it'll be an entertaining game. Obviously you'll be wanting Sheffield United to win, which goes without saying. We obviously want Newcastle to win. But I'd rather see an entertaining end-to-end game than a dull dead rubber game where nobody cares. These players, some of these Newcastle United players still need to play for the futures, in my opinion. So there's still a bit to play for the guys that are out of contract, Jayde.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they've got to kind of prove that they are worth keeping. There's obviously a few players that you wouldn't want to lose. Like, I think Murphy deserves it. But I feel like there is players that want to kind of show themselves, and even if it's not to stay at Newcastle, but to prove themselves to move on, if that's the case, if that's what they want. But yeah, Stephen, but good luck to Sheffield United in the Championship. Hopefully they do come back up, because I do think they're a good club. But obviously, you know how you've done this season. Like, it's not been the best, and we shouldn't be giving you as much kind of praise and credit as we do, because we should be going at you and kind of saying we're better than you. But unfortunately, it's Newcastle, and if you're just having a struggling season and not playing any well, haven't won, come see us and we'll do you a favour. Yeah,
exactly. Way too much respect was given to Sheffield United by Steve Bruce when we played them down there. Steve Bruce is just a yes man, glad to have a job, no spine, never going to rock the boat or do what he needs to do. Players and fans don't respect him. Totally agree. I mean, there is no respect there. Andrew says would love to see Lincoln City promoted. Fantastic city and people. Yeah, they're on the rise, Lincoln, to be fair. Which players from the current squad are you expecting bids to come in from the summer? I mean, ASM, I'm expecting that to be busy, possibly Callum Wilson, maybe Miggy, but I don't think his recent form has been good enough to attract anyone, to be fair. Who do I wish bids would come in for is a different kettle of fish, because John Joe Shelby, Joe Linton, Emil Kraft, to name just a few. We need to see some bids coming in for them. Back to the press conference on his defeat to Sheffield United. I picked the wrong team. It's quite simple. You look back on it and learn from it. You have to hold your hands up that I didn't do us any favours. It was one of the darker moments of winter. We want to avenge that if we possibly can.
Sounds like something out of a book, doesn't it?
Right.
The darker moments of winter.
Yeah, but look at that last sentence, Jayde. This is what I'm talking about. We want to avenge that if we possibly can. Now, that's like saying, I don't know if the side is good enough to beat Sheffield United. This guy is a monumental bell end. He really is. He's a monumental bell end for saying shit like that. And how would that come across to the players? Oh, he doesn't think we're good enough to beat Sheffield United. Why should we give a shit? And luckily, there's fans in the ground tomorrow night, so the players might want to turn around and say, "Oh, well, we'll do it for the fans, but we're not doing it for this knobhead."
Exactly. It's Mr. Hindsight again for Mr. Bruce, isn't it? Kind of his favourite word. In hindsight, I should have changed it, but Steve, you should have learnt your lesson months ago. And kind of the farther it got into the season and still not knowing your best team, or your best formation was quite scary. He changed it up far too much, and yes, I agree. The players' selection wasn't great, and he did choose the players, and he admitted it, but he had to, doesn't it? There's no one else to blame for that. Obviously, the players weren't up to scratch either on that day. They didn't give it their all, but still, he should have kind of given them a bit more.
Your cat really does want to be a YouTube star, doesn't he?
Every time. He loves himself.
Jules says 96% wanted Bruce out. So how has he done a good job? Exactly. Dave says, hi, Judy, smash the thumbs. Yeah. If you are enjoying the show, guys, please do hit the like button. We really do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel as well, and you like what you see, do consider subscribing as well. And super chats are also available if you want to do that at the bottom of the comments. Judy says, Jayde, sorry, but we are relegation material. Our fans are Champions League level, our players mid-table. Our organisation plus the owners equals Port Vale's tier. Little harsh on Port Vale, Judy, but you've got to agree. I mean, the support that this team has, and this is what I meant before, we shouldn't be where we are. The squad we've got, the support we've got, it's just, this club is just been in the doldrums for so long now and just needs a massive lift. And whoever does come in and give us that massive lift are going to be legends forever in Newcastle.
Won't have to pay for a pint in the town again.
Steve says, Judy, I think Port Vale would be upset by that. Jules, fans coming into St James's Park is like the drums of doom for Bruce. I mean, we said last week, Jay, that we could see Bruce taking a sickie tomorrow.
Yeah,
so
he's got
it'll be very
COVID symptoms.
interesting.
He can't come in the stadium.
Oh, I've had a bit of a sore throat. I've had a bit of
Graham
temperature
Jones
this
on the
afternoon.
sideline.
Yeah. Can you imagine, though, the crowd start chanting Graham Jones's Black and White Army?
I heard that, yeah. I think that's the best to piss him off. That would be the best.
Oh, my God.
I think it would be great.
Absolutely fantastic.
So if anyone's watching who's going, please start that off because it'll make my day.
Dave, I know you're going. So
yeah,
you
Dave,
get
it started.
Thomas, I know you're going as well. You get that chance started.
Yeah.
I would rather have Angela Lansbury than Henry Lansbury. She would be a better midfielder. And Judy says, yep, sorry to the Valiants. Billy, Mate Sacked says, well, this is two Mate Sacked. Steve Bruce has the worst win ratio of any Premier League manager ever. He almost relegated the most expensive championship squad ever. The man is totally inept. And then Mate Sack comes back and says 4 goals against Leicester, 3 against City, but you think the football still hasn't been great. Okay. Well, no, I don't think it's been great, quite honestly. And I think...
have you watched a different team this season?
I really don't know. I don't know. Yes, we scored 7 goals in the last 2 games. Fantastic. Whoopie fucking do. But that doesn't mean that the football's been brilliant. Just because we've scored goals, it doesn't mean that the football's been brilliant.
It's like putting a plaster on a broken leg, mate. Like, it doesn't fix the cracks in this club.
No, it doesn't.
Like, yes, we've done well, and we've given them credit. We've given them credit when credit's due. And I even gave Steve Bruce credit after the Leicester win. I think we did really well. Yep. But just because we've scored a couple of, like, why are we, like, why is it so, like, oh my God, we scored 4 goals? Like, why is that a thing? Like, we shouldn't be shocked by that. Yes, not every team's going to score 4 goals every game, but we've never had a big win. And even when we do score 4 goals, we leak goals at the back like there's no tomorrow. So to me, that's still not good enough. And I'm sorry for not kind of giving credit where credit's due, but when Newcastle United, we should be better than what we're shown right now. And I'm not going to apologise, like I've said, for wanting my team to do better and wanting them to push on, because I feel as Newcastle United, we're not showing our potential at the minute.
Yeah. Chill says, what I think Bruce meant was keeping the standard, then he gets high. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm going.
Carl, good evening to you over on Facebook. He says, good evening both. If that crowd had been there this season, Bruce would have been gone at Christmas time. We all know that. He wouldn't have stood a chance. Let's have a look, see if we've got some more. It's important to keep the standard high. I've read that. Oh dear, I don't know what I'm doing here. There we go. On Joe Willock, you can see him enjoying it and enjoying scoring. To take the ball off Joe Linton for the penalty shows the state of mind. He wants to score. He's given us another dimension from midfield, and the distance him and Almiron cover from midfield is great to watch.
So sign him.
Yeah. But I disagree with him about Almiron, though. I don't think Almiron's been great to watch at all. Joe Willock has shown Almiron how to do it, in my opinion, at the minute. The way he's bursting into the box, he's available. He's getting himself in there for any loose balls that come around from crosses. Miggy is like kind of just puts his head, he gets the ball, puts his head down, runs. For me, that's not good enough. What we want to see from Miggy is the type of pass that he gave to Callum Wilson for the goal against Leicester City. Just through the eye of a needle. Nobody else saw that pass apart from him. Now, so that tells me that Miggy can do it. He's got to be better at doing that. And his form has to improve. But he needs to take the leaf out of Joe Willock's book, in my opinion, because that is how we need to see Miggy playing.
Yeah, I mean, as a kind of midfielder, it's kind of Joe Willock, I think you could have hoped for, isn't it? Like, he does run his arse off, them late runs in the box, that give us a different dimension to our game. And I think that's the one thing we have been missing. Like I say, Miggy, he does run, but I know he's made a few kind of crucial goal line saves, but again, that we're very happy for that. But that's not what we bought him for. He's not a defender. We bought him to kind of get forward and run. And I know he's probably not playing in his kind of favourite position. But like I've said previously, as a kind of professional footballer, you should be able to adapt. And he's played in that position long enough now to surely to have adapted and kind of know what works for him. I mean, that pass for Wilson against Leicester was literally superb. And we know he has that in his locker, but I just don't think he shows it enough. And I don't know if that's coaching or confidence, but a bit more of that and he'll be fine. But I don't know. I'd like to see him under a different manager because I think someone could get the best out of him. But I don't know if kind of he's been here a while now, so it's not like he's kind of not used to the Premier League's speed or the way we play. So it's the problem called Miggy. Like I just don't know what it is at the minute.
Yeah, he's just not at the races, and I don't know why. It's a shame. What on earth am I doing here? Right, have we just watched that one? Yes, we have. Right, this one. Steve Bruce says it would be a gamble for Scotland to take Ryan Fraser to the Euros. The winger's still missing with groin injury. I think that would be a gamble, seeing as he's missed the last 6 or 7 weeks. He's missed the last 6 or 7 months, to be fair. He has played no real football or trained. Well, he certainly hasn't turned up for Newcastle United, Jayde. And for me, I couldn't give a shit about Ryan Fraser. Now, as far as I'm concerned, he hasn't done any favours for Newcastle United. He hasn't done anything for us apart from, get fit and go and play for Scotland, score a couple of goals, run around like he's Linford Christie, and then all of a sudden comes back to Newcastle and he's dead on his feet again. It's fucking pathetic.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, the way when I watched him play a couple of times, the only times he has, he doesn't seem interested. I honestly believe that kind of Newcastle probably wouldn't have been his first choice, but we're the only ones stupid enough to go in for him in the Premier League. So he thought that this was his only option. Obviously, with Wilson being there, he thought, oh, well, at least I'll kind of have a pal. But it just seems like his head or his heart has just not been in playing for Newcastle United. I haven't seen it, and his passion, when he got set off against Sheffield United when we played away there, and he just started laughing, and that really bothered my piss. I was like, how dare you? You've just literally what? That you don't just laugh and walk off. There was no kind of. He wasn't protesting against it. He wasn't kind of arguing his side. It was literally just, okay, bye.
Yeah, it was.
And that's literally been his thing. But then I can guarantee you will get picked for the Euros for Scotland, because let's be honest, Scotland have got a poor side. There isn't anyone there that really stands out, and he's probably one of the better ones for him. And I'm sure he'll have a pretty blinder. And I'm sure he'll look.
You're going to have half of Scotland coming for you now, Jayde.
That's fine. But just the truth, guys, let's be honest. They'll probably beat one out.
I know. We'll remember this show. Yeah. Anthony says Bruce going against the fans after giving him a chance is unforgivable. There's no coming back from that. Exactly. Yeah. It's the snide, nasty comments he's made about the fans during this COVID, knowing that we haven't been able to get into the ground and have a say against him. That's what's caused all this rigmarole in the first place.
What was the need for that TalkSport interview? There was just no need for it. He didn't have to go on there. No. And he literally just made his situation worse. He's digging his own grave.
Everybody was on a high after that game, and he just brought everybody trundling down to earth. Paul says Jayde made a valid point about when the supporters are back in the stadium, the atmosphere could turn sour. Football needs to improve to avoid this. Steve Bruce needs a new mindset for next season. I hate talking about Steve Bruce in next season. I really do. It scares me, to be honest.
It's not a nice thought.
No. Judy says, I wonder if the last quarter of the season turnaround was less to do with strategy and more to do with players being terrified they might be playing Millwall, Huddersfield and Preston. Yeah.
Well, they won't be, would they? They're very thick after another Premier League team.
The thing that gets me is I put out on Twitter earlier today that, rumour has it that Steve Bruce is going to play the same formation tomorrow, this 5-3-2 or 3-5-2 on the attack or whatever it is. I don't see why. I'd love to see a 4-2-3-1 tomorrow night against Sheffield United and really go for it. And then people coming at it and saying, oh, well, the formation's working. It's freaking not. The defence is awful. Nobody can tell me that we've defended well the last few games, even though we've won them. And that's the thing. The pace of the attack and the counter-attack has got better, without a shadow of a doubt. It's got so much better. And that's what's been exciting. Yeah, and it's been really exciting when we get the ball and we break like that. It's fantastic to watch. But at the other end, our defending is terrible to watch. And that's what's disappointing. It's just terrible. We're not picking men up. We fall asleep, and it's just annoying.
This is the perfect time to try a new formation, see if it works. You've got nothing to lose, so it's not like he has to go out and kind of win the game. But he's too much of a coward, and he will just keep to the same formation. And yes, it has. Has it worked? It's done better, but I wouldn't say it was really working. I'll probably get a lot of stick for that because, we won and kind of scored 3 goals against City. So, we must be the best team in the Premier League. But it hasn't worked. And I feel like a bit more with these players, we've got fast players and they've proved themselves in the past couple of games when they have closed players down quickly. They do panic them and we get the ball and we move forward quickly. So why not hire a few more players forward to do that?
Totally agree.
And then the defence as it may, because it'll leak. So if you're going to leak, do what Keegan did and literally try and score more goals than them.
Exactly. I'd love to see that. Andrew says, will anyone take Hendrick? We may have to pay the team who takes him, not the other way around. I can't see anybody putting in for Hendrick unless it's a lower league team. Chipper says, Bruce going on if it's some sort of Game of Thrones saga. Joel says, never believed I would say this, but I'd keep Joe Linton even with a takeover, because with a good manager, he would turn out good, in my opinion. A lot of people have said that, Jules. Let's see what Joe Linton's like under a decent manager. Maybe me as well. I mean, I don't know. I've seen glimpses of a player there, but you know what I mean? It's just whether he's getting asked to do the wrong job or what, I don't know. But it's just, I don't know. Anyway, Steve Bruce on Paul Dummett, who could make his 200th appearance for Newcastle tomorrow. A real significant achievement. There's nothing better than somebody coming through the ranks because they understand what it means to the people. He's proven how good he is. Massive game for Dummett. He'll probably play.
We should.
In no doubt that he'll not play, but it's a fantastic achievement from Jayde.
Oh, it's brilliant. And obviously I know he's Welsh, but he kind of is a local lad, you know what I mean? He does support Newcastle and coming up through the ranks, and it's well deserved. I think he's stuck through some really shit times with Newcastle. And he's still here. I mean, I know he's no world beater, but he puts a shift in, and you know what? He's probably one of our better defenders at the minute. Like, he's versatile. You can have him left back, centre back, and that's what we need. We need kind of a versatile player that can play in a couple of positions. And I'm really chuffed that he is still here, and I hope he has a good few years here as well, because I think he is loved by the fans, and I think I do love him. Like, he's a class lad. Yeah.
This is the one you were on about before, Jayde. Whatever type of reaction I get, I am delighted. I mean, what the fuck is this man coming out with, Jayde?
I mean, be delighted if we're screaming shot of him for 90 minutes. Like,
you fat really bastard or whatever. You're getting sacked in the morning.
This is lovely. This is delightful.
Is he really going to be delighted with fans singing that? What an absolute chump. I mean,
I just don't think he knew what to say, did he? He was like, yes, I'll be delighted, because he knows what he's in for. You got to be stupid not to, but he's delighted. And it's just a typical Steve Bruce answer, isn't it?
Honestly, what a monumental bell end. Paul said Jayde made a good. We've seen that one. Andrew says, Judy, it's down to fitness. Well, we always, I mean, lax training schedule, poor training facilities. It all boils down into a poor first team football team, and that's the thing. Mike Sachs, 18% possession isn't good, but at least yous are effective with it. Now that gives me the impression that he's not a Newcastle fan, because he's just said there isn't good, but at least yous are effective with it. So who do you support, Mike Sachs? I'd really love to know.
18% possession is not good. Full stop. That should have been your ending of your sentence.
Yeah, and when you see the likes of Brighton and Leeds and clubs like that having much more possession and actually giving it a go against Manchester City, instead of, our last half an hour, we just decide to give them the ball and let them pass it around for a training session for half an hour. But people seem to forget that because we scored 3 goals. But, hey-ho. Century says, need the class academy we deserve, and love to see the academy make first team football. Yeah, I mean, that would just be fantastic. Thomas can't wait for tomorrow because obviously he's going back. Jayde, what's your cat called?
That one's Flynn.
Yeah, she did tell you last week, Andrew, but obviously never mind. Mike said, and creating chant. Oh, give our will you? Who's going to the match tomorrow? I ain't. Not many of us are. I know Dave, who's in tonight, he is, and obviously Thomas is as well. I still need to get my season ticket renewed. I emailed the box office late this afternoon, actually, because I just sent them an email saying I want my supporter number just for when the season tickets do become available again. And at the bottom, I did put, and is there any indication of when they might be going back on sale?
But I emailed them, and I got a response like a day later saying like, "You'll find out when we find out." And I was like, great, that's helpful. Well, thanks,
honestly,
Julie.
Some of them in the box office really do
nice.
The customer service needs improving a little bit. Ryan says, I hate Steve the Froster. Bruce, absolute arsehole. He's not an arsehole. He's a monumental bell end. That's right. Would love to have went. Yeah, I think we all would, to be honest, just to get back in the ground. Senchi says we miss Hayden more than Lascelles. I agree. I think our midfield's been completely lost without Hayden. I'd love to see Hayden and Joe Willock as the pairing in the middle.
That's all we want, isn't it? It's not much to ask either. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not asking for De Bruyne or anyone. It's just Hayden back.
Yeah, just get Shelby out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally.
Dave says I'm going. Graham Jones's Black and White Army.
Dave.
I really hope that song starts up because that'll be fucking hilarious. Mike Sack said the goals were against 2 top 6 teams. Pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah,
Whatever.
class was that.
Yep. Nobody will work for Ashley. He's basically an EastEnders villain. Although I would prefer a traffic cone to Steve Bruce about the same tactical awareness. That's how people feel about Steve Bruce, Mike Sacked. Not that he's a great manager at all.
You're on your own, son. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Michael says, looks like Bruce will be taking charge next season. Do you agree it will be another season of struggle? Pray for a takeover. Great show. Thanks, Michael.
Michael.
Yeah,
Why
I mean, it's the big
things like that.
I know it's the biggest worry that we do have, to be fair, is that, we've said it many times that we're going to wake up in the summer months and see an extension to Steve Bruce's contract. I think it's coming. I really do. I think if there's no takeover, I think we will see an extension. And it'll just cripple the fan base. It'll just ruin the summer for everybody, to be fair.
Like, Steve Bruce is the perfect man for Mike Ashley, though, isn't he? Like, there is nothing. It's like John and Joe Linton. There's not a better love affair for Mike, because he's a yes man. Doesn't really expect much. He's happy when he keeps her up. Not too ambitious. So what more could you want after Mike Ashley? But yeah, I think obviously it was July now, isn't it? Said we'll find out about the takeover. So I hope after that, if it's good news for us, I never want to see his name ever again unless it's in an opposition dugout.
Yeah. Andrew says, go to the indoor market and the tune plenty of cabbages there. I'm reliably informed. There was a funny tweet went out a few days ago, actually, from I believe it was somebody who actually runs a grocery stall in the Granger market. Said he'd got extra supply in and he was going to sell them to Newcastle fans cheap if they showed them
50 pence a cabbage.
Yeah, brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. It's going to be interesting to see. I have all my cabbages saved up during the lockdown, says Thomas. Good lad, get them hoid at him.
What did you say when it allowed bags in?
I know, there's no bags allowed in.
Trying to search for cabbages.
Yeah, I think most of the ladies that are going into that match tomorrow are going to be heavily pregnant.
But it's just my baby. You can't touch that.
Yeah, exactly. You can't touch the bump. You can't touch the bump. Meanwhile, there's about 16 cabbages stuck down the jumpers.
Just all lots of man boobs.
Yes. Murphy is better than Fraser. I agree. Certainly, he's done more than Fraser this season. I still think John's intro last week when he said, "Ma'am, I'm streaming," is just class. Oh, honestly. John's streaming, man. Oh,
that bloody light.
I know. Anthony says Fraser's been a massive disappointment. I hope he has a great Euros to put himself in the shop window, then we can get a decent transfer fee. Should go to Arsenal. Billy says Timo Werner was born offside. Another goal chalked off to him not being able to stay onside. Obviously, Chelsea are playing tonight against Leicester. Different from Mr. Carver making a joke about how great he was. Let's not go there. Ryan says some of our fans are so deluded. Like, how can any sane person defend Bruce Ball? Exactly.
I don't think he's our fan, so
it's impossible. Yeah, I'm growing little gem lettuce if anyone wants one instead of a cabbage if they run out.
Put them in your pocket.
Yeah. Last couple of quotes from the press conference. The first one was on Elliot Anderson. He's had a bit of a bad hip. He trained yesterday for the first time in 8 days. He's desperate to be involved, of course, but we'll see how he is. I'm not going to risk him for the sake of it if he's sore. And then he goes on to see about Isaac Hayden and Ryan Fraser. He says he can't see Isaac Hayden or Ryan Fraser playing again this season. They haven't joined in with full training. They're both probably raring to go. But with 5 days to go in the season, why risk them? I wouldn't be risking it with the two of them. So I don't think we're going to see them this season. But hopefully we'll get to see Elliot Anderson, Jayde. Maybe, obviously not tomorrow, but maybe down at Craven Cottage on Sunday.
It'd be lovely to see him, kind of give him a chance, because I think obviously he's wanting to prove himself. And why not? The lad's done well in the under-23, so give him a chance. Like, I can't see him any worse than Shelvey, obviously, but he'll be playing alongside Shelvey, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with that. I wouldn't risk Hayden. Obviously, I couldn't give a shit about Fraser, but I wouldn't risk Hayden. There's no point in making him worse. Just get him fit and ready for next season, because by God, we're going to need him if Bruce is still in charge.
Yeah. Musical Magpie says that if the transfer budget is limited in the summer, would you prioritise the strengthening of strikers, midfield, or defence? That's interesting. For me, it's got to be the defence. Probably defence and midfield, would be my priorities. And maybe a backup for Callum Wilson. I just think we need a lot of players in, and old rubbish out the door.
And I feel like to get those players obviously Mike's not going to spend any more money, so I think he will kind of look at offers for Saint to kind of get those players in. But yeah, I think Callum Wilson's going to do you like what he's done this season with no support. Yeah. Like he's going to do you a job. Yes, in an ideal world, would I like a backup for him or someone to play alongside him? Yes, but no, I think the defense and the midfield, I think especially for me, needs strengthening. I think we need to get rid of a lot of deadwood in midfield that just aren't doing a job for us and kind of getting some new blood. But like I said, like Joe Willock is like the perfect man for me. Build a team around him and then kind of defend. But with defense, like with Lejeune and stuff, like you've got him on loan, and you would rather play Shelby in defense than put another defender on because we haven't got any. And so it's like we need to get a couple of defenders in to kind of strengthen up that up. But the way we leak goals at the minute is just it is scary because watching Newcastle over the years, we've never had the best defense. But this season it has been quite scary how easy we can concede goals.
Brighton are beating Manchester City by 3-2. So, there is proof, if you ever need it, that if you give it a go. Man City are down to 10 men, however, but you know what it is? It'll be interesting. I'm just going to get the stats up to see what the... because it would be interesting to see. Brighton have had 64% possession against Manchester City. 18
attempts on goal.
Yeah. So, down to 10 men or not, give it a go and you get rewarded. That is ultimate proof. Thomas,
I asked too much if I asked for that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, exactly. I know. Yeah, we are wrong to ask anything.
Yeah, sorry. Kind of but Brighton, I'll go on Brighton. Like,
yeah, Jayde cat is so adorable, says Thomas. He's flat out now, having a nice curl up there. Hendrick won't leave. Me dad just moved loads of gym equipment to his the other day. Oh God almighty, gym equipment's not going to help Hendrick. Andrew says, I was going to say it before it started. Can anyone see Brighton scoring 3 against City? Well, I was totally wrong. Listen, I've always thought Brighton have been a decent side this season, and just they've struggled a little bit up front, which is, a big miss for them having a proper, striker up there. Carl says, just a thought, if Sheffield win tomorrow, it gives them 23 points and Newcastle gave them 6. Of them points. Sheffield were relegated 2 months ago. It doesn't say much about our football level. If we lose tomorrow, I will be on the match reaction. Definitely with a rage. Definitely. I can guarantee you that I will not be happy if we lose tomorrow. I don't give a shit if it's a dead rubber. We should not be losing to Sheffield United tomorrow. Definitely not. Billy says this sums up the monumental bell end. The team negatively.
I love that's got an anagram now.
I know, MBE. Concedes 62 goals. He has no positive qualities to even talk about. He was a fine defender, but he's a shite manager. We've conceded the same amount of goals as Sheffield United. And that's how bad we've been. Never mind. Judy says Mike sacked, confirmed to be Mrs. Bruce. yeah, definitely. Or Alex Bruce.
Yeah,
there's a point. Billy says, I think Mike Sack may have a Charlie White screenshot on his laptop. Very, very possible. Very possible, Billy. While Brighton attacking City like mad, Brighton playing brilliant. Well, you know what it is? There you go. It just goes to show you. You go for it, you give it a go, you get rewarded.
No team's unbeatable, no matter how well you play and you get at them. Like when you're playing against the good clubs, you've like likes of Newcastle and like Brighton, we've got absolutely nothing to lose against them. We're expecting to get beat. So all we want from our team is to have a go. Like that's all we've ever wanted from this side.
And Brighton were 2-0 down in that match, by the way.
Well, exactly.
So even with 10 men, they've done against 10 men. I mean, Man City, who are a class above everybody, obviously, even with 10 men, you'd struggle. Well, we certainly would anyway.
Yeah.
But here-ho. Andrew says, sorry, Paul, I'm getting old. I forgot. Mike Sex said, Billy, not a Sunderland fan. I don't believe that for a second. I really don't. He's a Middlesbrough fan, apparently. He's getting everything thrown at him. 3 people on Brighton kick their ass. Everybody's trying to guess who he supports now because he's definitely not a Newcastle fan.
I think Burrow's a good shout.
Mark says 4-0 Newcastle tomorrow. Yep, we'll come on to predictions very soon. We'll talk about the game in a second. Just rattle through some of these comments because we've had loads come in again. So thank you very much for that. If you are enjoying the show, please don't forget to smash the like button for us, please. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, do consider subscribing. And like I said earlier, if you want to donate to the channel, super chats are available at the bottom of the comments. Sheena says, evening guys, me Toon fan, Steve, Sheffield United fan. Me Toon fan, Steve, Sheffield United fan. Can't wait to see crowds back in. Yes, Ashley and Bruce need to know how upset fans are this season, but feel before the match. Can't wait to hear Toon shouting now. Yeah, I think obviously make the feelings known before the match. When the game kicks off, get behind him, get behind the team and Bruce. Just get behind everybody to try and get the win. I have a feeling if we fall behind or we start playing shit and losing the game, it's going to turn toxic very quickly. But at the start of the game, I'd just like to see them, come out and give them a good backing. Mike Sack is actually a Leeds fan, but he doesn't understand how Bruce never gets any credit for anything.
That's even worse. Like, look at what your team has done this season. But then you're expecting us to take mediocrity from Bruce. Oh, yeah. Wait, go on some Leeds streams and piss them off because you just do me tits in.
Still respect Newcastle, a big club. They deserve to be in the Premier League. Big clubs should always be in the Prem.
Yes, I do like Leeds. So I'll give you that. Like,
I'll tell you what, there's a good one from Andrew. We'll have Bielsa. You can have Steve Bruce.
Exactly.
And then,
see how that works. Yeah.
See how that works. Because I guarantee
you're in League One in a couple of seasons.
Exactly. Truls says every time we are positive about the outcome of a match, we seem to lose. So we lose 5-0 tomorrow, says Truls. Yes,
when we're negative, we win. So we'll see.
I know, yeah. Shelby send him to North Korea. Oof. The security can hardly say we don't allow cabbages in, can they? Because the manager's one. That's a good point, Billy. Andrew says, I'm not too confident about tomorrow night. He has got a bad feeling. You know what? I had a bad feeling about Leicester. And look how that turned out. I had a very bad feeling against Manchester City. Look how that turned out. We did all right. So, Chelsea are winning 1-0. Timo Werner with the goal. I want him to come good because he's one of my favourite players. Maybe not. He punched it in. Oh, okay. Sorry I'm late, folks. Buzzing after a 2-0 win over Southampton. Yes, well done to Leeds again.
Well done, Leeds.
I'm sick of bloody sitting at this season.
Top 10 guaranteed.
Well done. Yeah, I know.
No, but well done. They've done amazing this season. It's a brilliant team, and I think they deserve what they got.
I know. Crikey, Werner is shocking. Good end of season for Leeds without a shadow of a doubt. It is. It's just, I think Werner's goal's disallowed. We need to get rid of all the dead wood first before we can bring in new blood, and that is perfectly correct. We have to get rid of the dead wood. I know, and it's very worrying. All I'd say about this game is I hope, against reason, Bruce lets your lot loose and you batter the blunts. I mean, it would be good to see him take the shackles off. I've said that all week. I just want to see him take the shackles off the attackers and say, look, just go and play football, go and enjoy yourselves, go and express yourselves, and attack them from the off, and then see what comes of it. Because I'm sure if he says that to the players tomorrow, Jayde, we'll actually go out and hammer them.
Well, of course, if you've got to say, like, go and show us what you've got, lads. Like, come on, like, who wants it more? Go and give us your all. Like, and they'll be like, oh, yes, let's go. Like, we can actually play with a bit of freedom. As soon as we were safe, we should have been playing with that freedom. And I feel like, against City, we did have a bit more of it. I feel like there was a bit more of kind of confidence and a bit more oomph about them. But tomorrow was a perfect example of kind of what we can do and kind of at least Bruce show that he's moving us forward. Like, I know it's not going to happen and I still want him gone, but surely he's going to want to prove himself as well, to say, like, I'm sorry, I know it hasn't been great, but moving forward, we're going to have a goal. This is what we're going to do. Like, and that like tomorrow's game is a perfect example of like what we can do, but I honestly can't see it happening. I think I don't know. Like, I'm not like, I don't know what
you're
to say
exactly
anymore.
where I am,
like,
to be honest.
Like,
you're exactly where I am. I just,
in a constant state of like, we should be beating them. Yes, we should be beating them. But I'm like, yes, but it's Steve Bruce's Newcastle. And I'm like, oh God, I fall somewhere in the middle all the time.
I hate that saying Steve Bruce's Newcastle. This is our Newcastle, for God's sake.
Newcastle.
Derek says, Paul, there's goodness in a cabbage. There's nothing in Bruce's head. We must find another name for him. Fucking idiot comes to mind. Derek, monumental. Island.
He's an MBE.
Yes. Ryan says, no takeover relegation looming. Well, if there's no takeover, I'm pretty convinced we're going to be in another battle next season. Chipper says, how can Bruce go on about high standards? We've conceded 62 goals this season, 4th worst defence in the league. Exactly. There's no excuse. There is no excuse. Man City playing a much stronger side tonight as well, which makes it even more embarrassing.
Is Carson in goal?
I don't think he is.
He is. That's even.
Is he in goal?
Double check. Lineups. No, Edison. Fuck it.
I mean, come on. Jade, I've just seen our friend Michael Marsden. He's put another super chat in.
Oh, Michael.
And it's bigger than last week.
Shut up.
No, I'll come on to it in a minute. But Michael, you are just...
Michael, don't make us cry.
Absolutely incredible. Judy says, just thought of someone else, Paul. Looks like the Kung Fu Panda, even has the black and white. Judy, I can fall out with you just as quick as I love you. So I don't particularly like you right now. Jules says, no Billion Son, because the cabbage head wouldn't get in. Could we get Dele Alli off Spurs?
Not at the minute, I don't think.
No, I think his feet are back under the table, yeah. Andrew says, brilliant fans Leeds United are, and a great city. Have had a few pints down there in the park. I love Leeds. I absolutely love going to Leeds. I haven't been down in quite a while, actually. I
was there on Saturday. Not much to do, like obviously closed, but...
yeah, you get yourself around, don't you? Where was my invite? I don't go anywhere because I've got no friends.
Oh, sorry, I'll meet you next time.
Nobody invites me anywhere. I was expecting a barbecue at yours, Jade, and I still haven't had an invite to that or anything like. Just shocking.
You've got a garden, me, man. I
don't care. You couldn't do it on the path.
All right. Okay.
Or you can have a barbecue in the kitchen. Just use the cooker, pretend it's a barbecue.
Put the heating on really high so it's warm.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretend you're in Marbella.
Exactly. Andrew, don't laugh at Judy's joke there. It wasn't funny. Michael, that is incredible. Thank you so much. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible, Michael. Your generosity is just absolutely unbelievable.
Jesus, mate. Thank you.
Next week, if you want to drop a Bentley off, mate, you're quite welcome to do that. But thank you, Michael. That is so kind. Absolutely really incredible. Nice. Thank you so much. Oh my God, Michael. Yes. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. You have to question the mental awareness of a man who takes his dog to a fireworks display.
That's true.
Exactly. I mean,
that's not
you
saying
really
man,
do.
Is it?
Just incredible. Wow, nice one, Michael. Yep, without a doubt. Dave says, well, man, fantastic, top man. Thank you so much. Honestly, you'll get me emotional. 6'5" man crying will cause a tsunami. Billy says there's no way Mike sacked as a Leeds fan. All the Leeds fans I know are intelligent folk and appreciate good football. Exactly. Certainly the other Leeds fans that follow this channel are very, very sensible on Steve Bruce, to be fair. When Bruce described Arsenal as a top side, I thought we were in 2001. Yeah. I mean, it beggars belief that Arsenal is still considered to be a top one of these big six. And sorry, Richard. I know you're a big Arsenal fan that follows us. If he's watching, I do apologise, but you know what I mean. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just saying that, Arsenal aren't there now. They probably will be in the future again, I've no doubt. But at the minute, they're not. So that's the thing. Rock solid defence under Rafa. The cabbage has ruined it.
Literally, he had a squad handed to him that was solid, and he's just destroyed it all. Yeah. I mean, we didn't I'm not going to say we played the best football under Rafa because I don't think we did. But there was no way we were getting hide-ins kind of that defence. We were always solid, and we were good on the counter. Yeah. So I'll not take any of this shit. How people are saying Bruce didn't do as bad as Rafa. I'll take none of that because that's just bullshit.
Yeah. Mike Sachs says to Billy, he was taking the piss, just very easy to annoy you lot. And Billy's come back with, we're laughing at you daft Mackham arse pond. What's an arse pond? I don't think I've ever heard that word in my life. Billy,
I'll use that in the future.
Yeah. Right. Obviously, we've gone on for over an hour, so we'll close the show shortly, Jade, but we'll just talk about a little bit about the match tomorrow. I mean, what would you like to see from Steve Bruce? What would you like to see him actually, send the team out, or what formation would you like Who would you like to see come in?
I think just a 4-3-2-1 for me. I think obviously it's hard to think now because the way he plays Joe Linton, and I wouldn't have Joe Linton up with that number 1 by himself. I feel like Carroll would probably suit better. Obviously, Wilson not being in for being injured. Just a bit more kind of fluent and more attacking, and not shit yourself when the ball comes towards you in defence, not make silly mistakes that Premier League footballers should not be making, not to have Emil Kraft or John Joe Shelby anywhere near the starting 11 or the bench, for Steve Bruce not to enter the stadium, and to have Amanda Stavely come in hand with Rafa and go, there you go, Bonnie lad, take it away. That would be my ideal situation tomorrow night.
Yeah, pretty incredible. Stephen says 2-1 to Sheffield United. Sorry, guys, looking forward to Paul's rant. It'll be a rant if we lose tomorrow. Chris Wilder, would you take him over Cabbage Head? Yes. 1,000,000% I would, yes.
I don't think there's anyone that I wouldn't at this moment
exactly,
in time,
because, Stephen, the thing is, we have to compare every single manager to all we have to say is, well, is he better than Bruce? And literally 99.9% of the time, it is always yes. So without a doubt. So just hi, Jade, says Sean. Come on, Paul, go wind up some Saints fans if you're in that much need of a... Oh, dear me. Okay, you get them told. Brilliant, Jake. Jonathan, hi, Paul. Hi, Jade. How's things? We're good, Jonathan. Hope you're well too, matey. Let's see. Jake's no bit weird, haha. Well, no, because if you're apparently a Leeds fan, go and wind Southampton up. But you're not a Leeds fan. You're a Mackham. We all know you are.
I know it's hard to admit.
It's good for the banter, and I must admit, it's quite funny the way you get Jade wound up. Because if anyone triggers that time bomb sitting there, it's you, without a shadow of a doubt. Got to dash. Night, and thanks for the show. Cheers, Judy, and Judy. Keep well, and we'll see you on the. Hopefully, you'll be on the match reaction tomorrow. Who? I've no idea. Never mind. Would like to see Max and Willock up front and Almiron behind them. Almiron is left having to defend, etc. Time he got a chance of playing up front where he was signed up for. Well, hopefully Sheena will see that, but again, this is Steve Bruce we're talking about. So we'll see. Leeds shouldn't get too cocky. Remember, Sheffield Wednesday, anything can happen. Look, Leeds aren't being cocky at all. They've played how really we played in the early 90s. It was like the entertainers. You score 4, we'll try and score 5. Yeah. And that's just the way the matches went. I think Leeds have been fantastic to watch this season.
Real pleasure to watch.
Definitely my favourite team to watch outside of having to watch us. But so if I need cheering up, I'll stick Leeds on and say, right, one day we might play football like that. That's day in the future.
Crazy, isn't it? Thinking Newcastle United looking at Leeds thinking, oh, I wish I was Leeds. Like, it's bizarre.
Madness. Absolute
no
madness.
offense to Leeds, but you know what I mean? It's fallen a far away from the 90s, haven't we?
Exactly. Fans in Tier 7, disgraceful. All of the clubs have had fans close to the pitch.
And obviously a massive shout out to Burnley for allowing their fans to come back in for free. I think that is a fantastic gesture.
That is incredible, yeah. Absolutely
and I think
brilliant.
A lot of clubs. Tottenham are charging like 80 quid.
Yeah. Well, it's Tottenham. It's just greed. It's absolute greed.
Last time you'll see Harry Kane in a Tottenham shirt, you might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, Senshi says we should go 4-3-3. I'd love to see that. When have Leeds been cocky? Exactly, they haven't, and that's the only thing I'll ever agree with you about that. Great show, Paul and Jade. Thank you, Keith. What's weird, Michael, is mocking this a lot after the shite we've had for 16 years and can appreciate what they're doing through what we're going through with Ashley. Take aim at the big 6 instead. Yes, thank you. See you, Thomas, Andrew, Dav, whatever. Derek says, Paul, love your program. Keep it up. So much fun with your team. And you know what you're talking about. I've been to St. James's Park from 1955. Wow. Well, thanks very much, Derek. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, I've got a great team. Certainly with this one sitting next to me there. She's been fantastic since she joined the channel. And then obviously the other guys from Monday night have been brilliant as well. And everybody that's made guest appearances. It really has taken off this season, the channel, and it's been brilliant. Good night, Jake. Everybody's saying good night. It's just like the Waltons in this bloody
good night,
shorter night, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Apologies, Jade, but I am a Leeds fan. says Mike sacked. And he's reiterated it again there, but took so long to get back the earned respect. Exactly. That's what it's all about, the way they fought back from the absolute wilderness. Ryan says, I got a few Leeds fans saying to me, expecting Europe next, friends of mine, so I say they shouldn't get too cocky, because in my experience, they are. Look, at the minute, they've got every right to be cocky, to be fair, certainly over us. And it's just banter, isn't it, really, at the end of the day? We all have banter with various fan bases and things like that, and that's what it's all about. Right, it's the end of the show, Jayde. So you know what that means. You now need to give me a prediction for tomorrow night. Now, with it being a dead rubber, obviously, like we said before, we really do hope that it's not played out as a dead rubber and it's just there's nothing in it, because I think there's a lot of Newcastle players need to prove a lot to the fans tomorrow. And with there being some fans in the ground, it might just spur them on a little bit more to do a bit better than if it was an empty stadium. So it's going to be interesting. But come on, then, what do you think?
I'm going to go 3-1 Newcastle tomorrow.
Wow. And the goal scorers?
I'm going to go Willock, Maxi, and Richie. I think he's going to do a screamer in the top corner. Yeah, I think Richie will come forward and score.
Wow.
I was going to say Joe Linton, but then I thought he can't score twice in 2 weeks. So, you've got to let him have a couple of games off.
You never know. I am going 4-0 Newcastle.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, but I'm going 4-0. I'm telling you. And the goal scorers for me, I think Joe Willock will get one, Joe Linton will score twice, and John Joe Shelby will score.
All right, David, calm yourself down. John Joe Shelby. Do you know that will be typical? Yeah, I actually could see that.
That's why I'm predicting it to score, just because it would be so typical.
He's like,
yeah, exactly. The first time that the fans are allowed back in the ground,
he'd be
boom. He'll exactly, and he'll run up to them and do the ears thing, and then somebody will shoot him from level 7 with a
like
pea gun
Stephen
or something
Taylor,
like that. Yeah,
who's red card.
I mean, Jesus Christ, I can just see it. I can just see it now. So
yeah, that's very Newcastle. Very Newcastle.
I'm confident of 4-0 tomorrow. I really am. Jules says, have a good night, Paul and Jayde. Billy says 3-0 victory tomorrow. Maxi Magic incoming. I hope you're right, mate.
Yeah, he does better at the lower leagues, doesn't he?
Yeah.
There's more space.
Cheers for the stream, guys. We'll have a catch up in the morning. Cheers, Jake. Sheena says, night, guys. Great show. Thank you very much. Dave says, I'll try to take a short vid tomorrow. If I do, I'll send it in, Paul. Yeah, do that, Dave. If you can take a little bit of a video and try and send it to my to my Twitter. And I'll hopefully try and get that on the match reaction, just to give us fans that aren't there just an idea of what. Certainly, if there's lots of songs being said about our glorious manager, then that's even better.
I want to hear you singing Graham Jones's Black and White Army, mine, Dave.
Yeah, you have to promise us, Dave. Good night, says Keith. Derek says, great show, Paul. Thank you very much. I've lost the comments again. Honestly, Sheena says 2-1 to the tune. Thomas, great stream, guys. Good night. Take care. Thanks, Thomas.
Thanks,
and
Thomas.
You enjoy it tomorrow night.
Yeah, have fun. Be safe.
Ryan says 2-1 victory for Sheffield. Wow. Stephen says, night, guys. Well done in your dreams. Stephen's obviously a Sheffield United fan.
Yeah, good luck, Stephen. Not.
Holy shite, says Thomas, with my prediction. I know. Charles says, you jinxed us there, Jayde and Paul. Hey, listen. There's nothing that I went for us getting hammered against Leicester and Man City, and I was proved wrong.
But then we get told we're too negative, and then when we say we win, we're being stupid. There's no winning.
I know. I just see a 4-0 coming tomorrow.
There's got to be something there. There's got to be, because if not, then Newcastle United's just not my Newcastle United anymore.
Yes, and to be fair, if we get turned over tomorrow, you're going to see me pretty much back to how I was, with serious blood pressure and rage issues, because I don't care if it's a dead rubber. I will not have Newcastle losing to Sheffield United. I just cannot. Great show, guys, and good night, everyone. Cheers, Andrew. Geordie says 3-1 tune, ASM with 2 and Shelby. Senshi says, take care of your ginger and be well. Cheers. I think he's talking about your cat, Jayde.
Oh, yes. He's good.
Keith says 2-0 the tune. Geordie says Shelby fist pumping the Gallagher prior to kick off just like Stephen Taylor did. I can't see that. Mohammed says we have to destroy them. No excuses. Jake says 4-0 in Newcastle as well. Billy thought that was a Brazilian reference there, Mohammed. Not quite. EIEIO, the Premier League we go. When we get to Europe, this is what we sing. Super Jones, Graham Jones is our king. Oh, my God. Sorry, I'm a negative thought, Ryan. You just speak the truth, mate, and you speak how you feel, and that's what it's all about.
Don't blame you supporting Newcastle.
Exactly. And Schultz says, no, I'm just joking, of course. Right, that's it for the press conference reaction and match review, match preview. Thank you to everybody that's took part in the show again tonight. It's been a blast. We've had good viewing again. If obviously you've enjoyed it, do hit the like button. If you're watching a rerun of the show, do hit the like button. If you're new to the channel and like what you see, or you haven't already subscribed, please do consider doing that as well, because we are desperately trying to build the channel up with the more and more subscribers. Brilliant things coming in the summer. We've got the great summer Newcastle United quiz, which is going to be fantastic. Getting everybody on, asking them questions about Newcastle United. So that's going to be an absolute blast. It really will be testing your guys' knowledge. You just come on the show with me and Jade. We'll at least keep asking you questions. The highest two after 3 weeks will go into the final, and obviously there's prizes to be won, so it's going to be brilliant. So lots of great things coming in the summer. Jade, thank you very much for tonight. We will, of course, me and Jade will be back tomorrow night with the match reaction live from well, it'll be about 8 o'clock, won't it, by the time the match finishes and we come on air. So it'll be 8 o'clock when that kicks off. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And we will see you at 8 o'clock tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Hopefully 3 points in the bag. Take care, guys.
Crossed. Bye.
Be strong.